Ye Wubin's 100 Lessons to Mastering Time Management. Lesson 63. How to Register for the Marathon. Hello everyone, my name is Ye Wubin from Neng. I am so happy to be with you now at 6 a.m. on the Ximalaya App. For those of you who have been following my lessons, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome aboard. I'm so happy to have you with us. Time is man's scarcest resource. Once it's used, it can never be regained, so if you're not using your time effectively, or if the time you are spending is only getting you further away from your dreams in life, then stay with me. Listen a while, and I'm confident I can help open your eyes to a new path that will get you closer to your dreams. I want to remind you, there are 100 classes in this album, and every class lasts about 6 minutes. It is updated at 6 a.m. New York City time each morning. Today I will continue our discussion on running by talking about the marathon. We should set goals in all areas of our life, and exercise is no exception. Goals help integrate exercise into our daily life. I recommend setting the goal of running a marathon. Many people develop habits for a healthy life by planning and training for marathons. These goals help us adhere to and maintain these habits. Japan's well-known writer Haruki Murakami developed the habit of running a marathon once a year, and believe it or not, he has even participated in an ultra-marathon, a run of 100 kilometers. Mr. Ma Ying-jeou, the former president of Taiwan, has run for over 40 years. In fact, the key point to running the marathon doesn't lie in the number of kilometers you run, but in whether you can continue to run and spread the concept that sports is good for the health of more people. Similarly, I have vowed to reach 100 million people with my time management methods in order to share how to have a new way of life, of greater health, efficiency, balance, and happiness. Therefore, I plan to run the marathon every year. In the past year, I have completed 3 half marathons. So, from my own personal experience, let me talk about how to train for and run a marathon, and what problems we need to pay attention to in the process of running a marathon. First of all, I want to point out that running a marathon is an extreme act of sport. If you are an experienced runner, then you'll be just fine. However, if you are a new runner and you rush to sign up to run a marathon, then there is some risk to you. We often see inexperienced marathon runners fall into a coma and are taken to the hospital. We see this often on television. This is usually due to improper training or extreme weather during the event. So unless you have developed good athletic skill, then I suggest you think carefully about this challenge and be sure you plan properly. This really is a serious challenge. Having said this, some of you must be up to the challenge, and you must be wondering how to register for the marathon. There are marathon events in lots of cities in China and all around the world, often several each month. Marathon races can be large, medium, or small in terms of the number of people registered. Sometimes, however, it is not easy to successfully register for these events. Many of the larger marathons conduct registration in the form of lottery, especially in major city destinations where marathons are more popular, like Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, Xiamen, Hangzhou, and other cities. Because more and more people are focusing on improving their health, more people are participating in marathons in these developed cities. In addition, these cities have been holding marathons for years, and they are great opportunities for advertisers to buy ad space. And for all of these reasons, customer demand is very high and registration sells out fast. It may even require networking with important people to register for marathons in these major cities. Therefore, I propose that beginners should choose small cities to register for a marathon because you have a greater chance of successfully registering for these events. I recently chose to run the Lanzhou Marathon. Fortunately, a form of first-come, first-serve registration was used instead of the lottery registration. For first-come, first-serve registration, you must register quickly, in the first few days, and sometimes, if it's very popular, in the first few hours of registration. You can register for most marathons online at their website. You can also register on certain mobile apps and websites such as Plump, Joy Run Lap, and so on. Signing up for a marathon online rather than in person will prove to be more successful for you as long as you fill out the form in the provided time and pay the registration fee. Now I want to mention there are two ways to run a marathon. You can run one offline or online, or at the site, as I say. In an online marathon, you run alone, and you track your progress on a mobile phone app. After the run, these applications or apps will give you an electronic medal or even mail you one. The offline marathon, or the on-site marathon, is where you run with a group of people at a specific date and time at a specific place. You will feel a greater sense of accomplishment and more emotion if you run the offline or on-site marathon, because you will run together with lots of different people. The organizers and many bystanders will cheer for you. The feeling you get from random strangers cheering for you is something you will not forget. It will fill you with pride. Therefore, if you have the opportunity, I highly recommend that you try running an offline or on-site marathon. Next, let's talk about some of the problems we need to pay attention to in the process of running an offline marathon. Number 1. If the marathon is held someplace you are not familiar with, it is recommended that you arrive there early so that you can check the route out beforehand. You should choose a hotel near the starting point. You can also choose hotels near the end point, which will give you the added bonus of being able to immediately take a bath at the end. But we still recommend you choose hotels near the starting point because often road closures and parking will make it very difficult to get to the starting line on time. Number 2. Eat light before the marathon. A bowl of porridge is a good recommendation. If you eat heavy, then most of the energy in your body will be spent digesting food and you will grow tired earlier in the race. Number 3. When running, run at a constant pace and be sure to drink water and have nutrition during the race. If you run fast too soon, you will grow very tired. Keep in mind the habit of running slowly and consistently. Number 4. Looking for groups of people or participants to run together with and encourage each other is a good thing. This sense of teamwork and camaraderie will motivate you and give you a great sense of accomplishment. And in the same sense, you'll be helping others get something accomplished, which is the whole goal of running in the first place. Number 5. Make sure you wear your race number and timing chip in the appropriate place, such as on your bib or around your ankle. Without it, your progress will not be tracked. Number 6. Book the round-trip air tickets in advance, or it will delay your return time because there will be lots of people booking flights after the race. Before you run the marathon, make sure you train appropriately. And remember, there are lots of different apps to help you run, including marathon training programs like Plump and Joy Run Lab. In general, after 2 months of training, you'll be ready for a half marathon, and after 6 months of training, you'll be ready to run the full marathon. Some people also say that if you can complete 10 kilometers within 1 hour, you may be ready to finish a half marathon in 2.5 to 3 hours. If you can finish the half marathon within 2 hours, then you should be ready to attempt a full marathon. I have set my own goal of completing the world's 6 great marathons: Tokyo, Berlin, Boston, London, Chicago, and New York City. But the real goal is to constantly challenge yourself with goals, no matter what they are. Whether it's running, or Ximalaya recordings, or some other challenge, the most important thing is to convince more and more people to learn about and make a difference in their own health, while building a great habit in exercise. Are you ready to set your fitness goals? These audio lessons are translated by Neng's partner Cece, and then recorded by her husband Justin. I wish you great success today. See you tomorrow.